Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to my kitchen. My name is Terry. I'm so happy to have y'all here with me today, Sunday, February 19th. It's a nice, chilly, slightly kind of Sunday here in Phoenix, but I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to have y'all here. Go ahead and get this going at the bottom of the screen so y'all know what's up. Come in the comments, say hello. Hope everybody is well. Who we got here? We got action. Yes, Leslie. Yes, we got action. Thank you all for joining. Like I said, hello, my name is Terry. Welcome to my kitchen. You are here with me today. We're going to cook and we're going to chat. Okay. I am so excited. So today we are going to be making some soy-free, sugar-free chicken teriyaki or teriyaki chicken. So that's what we're going to be making. We're using some chicken thighs. I got a bunch of little ingredients sitting here to show y'all what we're going to do, what we're going to make. Girl, why my arms look so big today? I look like I've been working out. Not really. But so we're gonna make our chicken teriyaki. To go with our teriyaki chicken, I am going to make some rice noodles. So y'all know I eat a lot of rice. I think I've told y'all before that is the one carb that my body responds to very well. So I tend to eat a lot of rice, but today I wanted to show y'all one of my other alternatives, which is rice noodles. You do have to kind of play around with the macros if that's something you care about, if you're counting macros and calories. But if not, if it's just something you just want to eat something that is easier on your digestive system, then try it on, see if it works for you. So we're gonna have some rice noodles there, and then we're just gonna have some roasted veggies. And I'm still gonna show y'all what I do with my roasted veggies. I got a few different ones and the last time I made roasted veggies. And then that's the food part, right? Y'all already know. We're gonna have a good topic today. We're gonna talk about my boy Chris Breezy because he was in the blogs and on the internet, TMZ, Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, all the blogs, Spiritual World, all the blogs is talking about Chris Brown this week. And we're going to talk about him today. Okay. So before we even get into that, I want to say hello to everybody, see who's here in the chat. Here we have Celeste. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. We have Miss Peach Love. She says hello to the chat. Celeste and Miss Peach Love saying hello to each other. So, yes, make sure that y'all are engaging in the comments. Housekeeping here before I get started. Make sure you like this video, give it a thumbs up, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Make sure you like the video. If you're not already, please subscribe to my channel. That definitely helps support the growth of my channel. I'm really honing in on 2023 on this huge, massive goal of getting monetized on YouTube and Facebook, but definitely YouTube, getting monetized. And so one of the ways that you can help me do that is by making sure that you are subscribing to my channel, that you are engaging with the comment or the content, watching the videos in the chat, liking the videos. Liking the videos really helps with the algorithm on YouTube as well. So just want to let y'all know that because I know a lot of people, they get on here and they're like, oh, please like my videos, please subscribe. And you're like, okay, whatever. But it helps. It really helps. So that's why I asked you to do that. Also, if you feel so inclined to support me, all of my information is in the description bar. You can down below and then on the ticker. So it is not required, but it was requested for me to drop that information. So yeah, we're going to get into it today, y'all. How are y'all doing today on this Sunday? I am doing well. I got some coffee here. Y'all know I'll be drinking my water because I got to stay hydrated. You know, I remember when I used to watch Wendy Williams a lot. I was about to say rest in peace. Rest in peace on her show because they done got my girl off the TV. I loved Wendy because she was messy. And I love some messy drama on the TV. I don't have drama in my life, but I love to watch mess on TV. And I remember watching her and just realizing like, dang, how girl really be sitting up there talking for like a whole hour? Like, that's a lot. And I constantly remember seeing her drinking tea and drinking water and trying to hydrate. I get it, sis. I get it. My little world over here, I get it. Okay, so first things first, what we're gonna do before we get into the Chris Brown drama, we're gonna start working on our food. So here I have some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. These chicken thighs I actually bought bone in, skin on. I got to tell y'all that so y'all know all the work I'll be doing behind the scenes for y'all to make sure these recipes are good. This chicken had the skin on, the bone on. It was the least expensive. Food is high, and I'm not trying to pay a whole lot of money on food. It's least amount of money as possible. So I had to go ahead and debone and take the skin off. Actually, I was talking to my sister on FaceTime when I did it, so she can vouch that I did all of this work. I cut up the chicken into little bite-sized pieces, as you can see here. And then we washed it with some vinegar and some water, washed it, like the old people say. And then now we're just gonna season it. So y'all notice I said we're gonna be making soy-free teriyaki chicken. That means we're gonna use a substitute for soy sauce. And I will get into that a little bit later when I start to make the teriyaki sauce. But one thing to note about the alternative that we're going to use to soy sauce, it does not have as much sodium as traditional soy sauce. So because of that, we will be using seasonings that do have salt in them. Okay. So I am going to start out by seasoning my chicken thighs. Here, I'll turn my camera down so y'all can see. I'm going to start by seasoning my chicken thighs with some onion powder, some garlic powder. We're going to also use some fresh garlic too, but I really want this chicken to have a lot of flavor. One thing, that I tend to find with teriyaki chicken is a lot of times it's more sweet than anything. Like, and it's just like, I don't want just sweet teriyaki. I want it to have like some depth of flavor. So this is how we're going to make sure that happens. So this what I'm using to season the chicken is Kinder's brown sugar rub. Y'all know I love Kinder's. The great thing about Kinder's is that it doesn't have a lot of sodium. This particular one, it only has 60 milligrams per serving, and the servings is what, a teaspoon? Fourth a teaspoon. We be all right. Okay, so next thing that we're going to use is put a little paprika in there. I'm going to use some Chinese 5-spice powder. I have very little left. Y'all know I make a lot of Asian style food, so some of my seasonings I have to re-up on. I got a little black pepper up in here. I'm also going to use some seasoning that I made, like a herb seasoning. This has parsley, it has cilantro, garlic, onions, smoked paprika, ginger. So because it has some good stuff in here and it is salt free, I'm going to add this in here as well. You can actually season your teriyaki chicken or your chicken for the teriyaki any type of way. This is not required. This is just what I'm going to be using. I do recommend, because we are going to be using a soy sauce alternative that does not have a lot of seasoning, doesn't have a lot of salt, rather. Put a little kosher salt in here. Because the soy alternative does not have a lot of salt, make sure that you season your chicken well. You don't want bland chicken. Okay. All right. So what? We got the barbecue rub. Make sure I have everything. Yes, to do. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and grate in a few garlic cloves. Let's see what we got going on in the comments. Leslie says she's making shrimp scampi. Ooh, that sounds good. Thank you for cleaning your meat. Some of the bloggers do not, and that doesn't sit well in my spirit. Well, people do whatever they want to in their kitchen. Over here, we're going to, ranch our meat with some water and vinegar. The vinegar does, help a little bit, little pH balance, in my opinion, get some stuff going. But hey, if you don't want to, that's on you. Also, like, my thing is, you don't know how they are butchering these meats. Yes, the cooking process, yes, the cooking process definitely kills bacteria. However, I find that a lot of chicken that you buy, or a lot of protein you buy in the grocery store in general, it's just not butchered well. They have bones, the chickens has feathers, there's a lot of excess fat. It's just a lot of extra crap in it. And I'm just like, you know what? Oh, let me get my garbage bowl. It's my garbage bowl like Rachel Ray used to have on Food Network. All right. I might have some guests later. Yes, we love Kinders. We love Kinders. All right. Do not to forget to let us know when you pop in so we can welcome you. Thanks. Yes. Yes, definitely. As you're coming in, guys, Facebook and YouTube, make sure you say hello, engage with the chat. We will definitely welcome you here. We're a little family. We like to joke like family, talk ish like family, all of that, all of that. So here I got some fresh ginger. This ginger was actually in the freezer. I was storing it in the freezer, so it's a little wet because it was thawing out. So I'm just going to grate a little bit of ginger. I want some more because that was just a small piece. Grate a little fresh ginger in there. So again, so we can have a lot of flavor. And then I'm just going to mix this up. Y'all see I got my gloves on. I'm ready to handle this chicken. I really don't like handling chicken especially, but raw meat in general with bare hands if I can help it. I try to use gloves. I try to remember to make sure I keep gloves. I recommend you do the same. I like to use the nitrate, or I don't know what's the name of them. Nitrile. I like to use those, or the vinyl ones. I think the who's in here in the medical field? You can tell me how the correct. If you want, you could. Actually, we're going to chop some up. But another thing that you can actually season your chicken with is some minced green onions. But I'm going to put green onions. I'm going to chop those up, and I'll put some on top of our teriyaki chicken once it's done. All right, so that's the chicken. That is seasoned. I'm going to put this off to the side. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera up because we're about to start talking about Chris Breezy. So that was the chicken. We seasoned it, got it all mixed up. Yeah, shout out to the gloves in the kitchen. Hello. Okay. Nitrile gloves. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Those are actually food safe. Those are considered food safe. So if you can get those, if I can't find those, I'll get the vinyl. I do not use latex gloves. But I highly recommend that you get some gloves while you're in the kitchen so that you don't have to handle raw meat with your hands. If you're like me, you like to get your nails done. You don't want food stuck up under your nails. These nails cost too much to be doing all that, okay? All right, y'all. Let's get into Chris Brown. All right. Let me tell y'all before I get into Chris Brown why I'm getting ready. So this is how much I'm going to make sure that I hit all my points. I got me a little outline, y'all. I got a little outline. A YouTuber that I watch on occasion, she likes to consider herself like a real intellectual. And so she has like a whole outline. Since we're doing a whole dissertation on YouTube Live, I ain't doing all that. We cooking, we just chatting like good girlfriends and good guy friends. Okay, that's all we doing. So, Chris Brown. Now, y'all know, maybe you don't, if you've been living under a little bit of rock or you don't get on the blogs on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, you may not know that Chloe Bailey and Chris Brown are going to be collabing together. They have a new song coming out. I think it comes out this week. Chloe Bailey announced it on her Instagram page, And of course, it was announced on Twitter. It was announced all over the internet, and everybody went crazy. Okay, there was literally a thread on Shade Room. It was on the Shade Room, and it was talking all these different tweets. People was going off, right? It was going off about Chris Brown and Homegirl. Then someone from the Cheetah Girls decided that she was going to say something too. Kelly Williams, I think that's how you say her name. Kelly Williams, she was on the Cheetah Girls. She decided she was going to say something about Chris Brown. I'm going to show y'all what she said. We're going to talk about it. So I'm going to show y'all. This is a tweet that Kelly Williams said. She said, let him come out with his own record. So genius, so captivating that it makes us all forget he beats women. He can't, so he won't. So what does he do? He slowly creeps back into mainstream by getting small nods for features on Black women's merit. Black women who are more talented, more worthy, but give him the okay. I'm swatting the freaking air right now, garbage. So sis has something to say. She was mad about Chris Brown and Chloe Bailey. Y'all know who Chloe Bailey is. She is basically Beyonce's protege. Homegirl is out. She's hot. Everybody talk mess because they say she's sexualizing herself. She's growing up too fast, all that kind of stuff. The girl is over 18 years old, so I don't know what y'all want from her. Okay, we ain't gonna go into that. I just want to, give you some reference. Hello, Bella. Let me bring up your Bella Rings has joined us. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Oh, you look so pretty. You look so pretty on your little picture. Anyway, so yeah, that is what Kelly Williams said. Baby, listen, Chris Brown has something to say about it. Let me see if it's gonna show us. So first he said, "Stop it." He was talking mess. He was talking real big shit. I'm not gonna lie. Chris was going off on his Instagram stories, y'all. He was going off. Then he writes this on his Instagram story. Obviously, you're at the point in your life where either you're very broke or broken. The fact that you think you can speak negatively about me makes you look so lame. Your life and career must suck right now. Blah, blah, blah. Y'all can see it. Y'all can see it. So he was going off. He went off even more. They were going back and forth. It was kind of a mess. I'm not gonna lie. As a woman of a certain age, I was looking like, cringe, like cringe. It's kind of too much for me going back and forth. I think Chris Brown was insinuating that she has done some very salacious activities with lots of people that I don't know if that's true, but that's what he said. That those are his words, not mine. I'm quoting him. He even went on a whole rant about all the men who have been accused of domestic violence, white men in media. He was going off, y'all. He name dropped a whole bunch of people. Celeste says this is new to her. Look, so you don't be on the Instagram. You don't be on the Instagram blogs, and that's probably the best thing. But this was a whole thing on like Thursday and Friday, I want to say. I think they announced it on Thursday and like all day Thursday. That's all you could hear. That's all you could see on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. It was just everywhere. It even made it to TMZ. So of course, because of this conversation, everybody has been talking about Chris Brown and like all the things that were said, and Kelly Williams talking about him beating women, all of these things, right? And I mean, of course, we know like Chris Brown's history. We this is the thing. If we're gonna have this conversation, we're gonna have to keep it real, okay, y'all? We can't sugarcoat, we can't tiptoe around it. We got to keep it real. We have to present the facts. Okay, we got to present the facts. And a mess. Let's just say this is a mess. It was. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. It was. It was very messy. It was kind of cringe. It was cringy, as my daughter Avery would say. So I got a few questions, and this is gonna kind of guide the discussion. As I ask the questions, I'm gonna start chopping up my vegetables for the roasted vegetables. I got them still sitting here in the. So these are all my veggies we're gonna be roasting. We got some zucchini, some broccoli, carrots, uh, bell peppers. So I got plenty to chop. So we got plenty to chat about. Okay. All right. So first question that's relevant in this whole little situation. Does Kelly have a point about Chris Brown? Should he not be collabing with Chloe? Okay. Y'all drop down in the comments. You let me know off top. What do you feel? How do you feel about him collabing with Chloe Bailey? So I have to be honest. I'm not somebody who knows a whole lot about Chloe Bailey. I know she's a younger artist. I know that she is I know that she is it is a lot of broccoli, but I wanted a lot of veggies, y'all. I love vegetables and I really need to eat more of them. So get my minerals going. Um I know she's like Beyonce's protege and she was a child star. I don't remember like what she started in. I really don't. But I know that she was in like movies and things of that nature. So, yeah. And that's why it's been so hard for people to kind of like realize that sis is growing up. People always talking about, she's overly sexualized. She's always naked on the internet. Her songs are very sexually oriented, all that kind of stuff, right? So, whatever. It's just important to know that like she is a 20 something young artist and she's collabing with Chris Brown. So, on some ways, it could be argued that maybe people got a point. Like, why Chris Brown, who is 30 something, and although Kelly said something like Chris Brown's trying to like come up off of Chloe Bailey. I think that's an unfair assessment because, baby girl, Chris Brown is a star, okay? Is he as big of a star as he probably could have been if the whole Rihanna situation didn't happen? No. That is something that definitely needs to be noted. But we're going to get more on that Rihanna situation in a minute. So is he like a huge superstar and he's all over everywhere and everybody is singing his music every day? Like, is he the most famous R&B/pop artist current? No. Is he 100% irrelevant? No. When I was doing all of my little research and stuff to, pull up Chris Brown's case information, now I am chopping up some zucchini. So I was pulling up Chris Brown's case information, and it was, of course, it was popping up about like his music, and I realized that like Chris Brown has had some new songs out recently. Like last year, he had a few new songs. So he's still working. Chris Brown is still working. I know he does shows sometimes. Like Chris Brown is not completely irrelevant. And the reason why I bring this up is because Homegirl brought it up. Kelly said Chris Brown was trying to come up off Chloe. So like if that's the case, then maybe she would have a point. But I don't think that that's the case. I think that's an unfair assessment. I don't think Chris Brown is trying to come up off. If anything, I think that it was probably looked at as this could potentially be a good collaboration to bridge two generations of consumers. Chris Brown is for millennials. Hands down, Chris Brown was the entertainer that was very popular when I was coming of age, okay? He was popping. Old millennials and young millennials, we all love Chris Brown because we all love Rihanna. Chris Brown and Rihanna was it. They were it. That Chris Brown and Rihanna situation happened in 2009, y'all. 2009. So that's how long Chris Brown and Rihanna have been relevant. And it wasn't like they had just got relevant that year. So he's a huge star for us. He is. He's still very relevant. We still listen to his music despite everything that has happened. Like, we're not about to sit here and act like Chris Brown is not somebody who's relevant in Black pop culture. It is. He is. Just a few months ago, people were complaining about they weren't letting Chris Brown do the Michael Jackson um what do you call it? He was supposed to, I can't think of the word. But he was supposed to perform a Michael Jackson song, and they were gonna honor him, and they were trying to take him off of that show because of the shit that was happening before. And of course, everybody was caping for Chris Brown at that point, right? Let's see, let's see. What y'all saying in the comments? Uh oh. The DV was a long time ago. He had not had any more charges. Let that man live. Hey, that's a point. Who is the young R&B artist who could collab with her? That's a good question. Who? Somebody, somebody tell me. Drop in the comments. Somebody put in the comments who would be the current young male artist that Chloe Bailey could collab with. I'm not saying that Chris Brown is the only option. I just want to know who it is because I'm 37 years old and I will be 38 in 6 months. I really don't know who's popping right now. Like my daughter listens to Ice Spice. I really don't even like the fact that she listens to Ice Spice, but she does. And I be listening to her songs and I'm like, this is stupid. Like this is stupid. I feel like my mama. So I don't know who would be the person that he would collab or she would collab with right now. I don't know who that is. And we can even go deeper into it, but that's another live because it's a lot of reasons why it's not a lot of good teen people for the young folks to look up to right now. But we ain't gonna hit too deep into that. In 2023, who cares? People want to police everything. It makes no difference to me. Either way, artists collab. That's it. I mean, it's true. I'll never forget the Double Mint commercial. Yes, man, Chris Brown. Uh, I already told y'all I'm a Chris Brown fan. They sure were. Look, Chris Brown was everything, everything. Who we have here? Craig Lamar is here. Hello, hey there. All right, all right. Yes, the tribute girl. Thank you, Bella. Bella is so pretty, y'all. Always. I'm hungry. What you eating? Okay, we are eating soy-free and sugar-free teriyaki chicken. I've already seasoned the chicken with several seasonings. You can actually season it however you want, but I'll go over the seasoning just so y'all know. I made a little herb seasoning the other day. I was using it to test out a chicken recipe. It has parsley, cilantro, garlic, onions, thyme, rosemary, ginger, all type of stuff, right? So I got some paprika on the chicken, onion powder, garlic powder. We grated up some fresh onion or fresh garlic, fresh ginger, and I also used the Kinder's brown sugar rub too. So and some kosher salt because the soy sauce alternative does not have a lot of salt. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so with our chicken, we're having roasted veggies. So I got a bunch of veggies. I've been chopping all this up. Got some let's see, onion or zucchini, red and orange bell peppers. Got some broccoli. I just cut off the crown. I'm about to cut up some carrots. I forgot to get my peeler. All right, so back to Chris Brown, y'all. Do they have a point that Chloe shouldn't have, or does Kelly have a point that Chloe shouldn't have collabed with Chris Brown? I think we've all come to the conclusion that she probably didn't. I feel like she was reaching. I feel like she was trying to use this situation to make herself relevant because let's be 100% real. Who is checking for Chloe Williams in 2020 or Kelly Williams in 2023? Who's checking for Kelly Williams? Cheetah Girls. Come on now. Raven Simone is still very relevant and ain't nobody checking for her. And she is relevant. Like the only reason why people even talk about Raven is when people start talking about That's So Raven, because that used to be the show back in the day. I used to love That's a Raven. I was watching That's a Raven in college. Don't judge me, but I liked it. But it's 2023, not 2008, not 2003. So she needs to stop. I really feel like, she was reaching. I do. I do. Like, is his past really relevant right now? Is it really relevant? I mean, as far as we know, there's no current pending charges on him for domestic violence. I don't even know if Chris Brown is dating anybody. Like, Chris Brown really don't even be on the scene like that no more. Like, he really don't. He's been actually pretty quiet as far as I know. Tell me, if y'all seen Chris Brown, is my sound out? Let's see. Let's make sure my sound is working good. Y'all let me know if my sound is good. Kelly has a million names in this life. She do. She do. Because I can't keep. She gonna have a million names because she is not relevant. That was shady. But I'm gonna keep it real. Like, come on now. Come on now. Bella, what you got to say? I love That's So Raven. Girl, me too. Me too. I love that show. So yeah, Kelly, I personally don't think that she had a point. I think that she was reaching. I think that she was using this opportunity to make herself relevant. We're not about to sit here and act like it is not a culture of people who use celebrities and their drama to become relevant. Hello, that's what content creators do every day. Okay, so like we're not about to act like that's not a thing. But she has a completely dead career, and what else is going to help people talk about her? Controversy. So I really feel like this was a cheap shot. I mean, we still gonna have a discussion about Chris Brown and all of that kind of stuff. So thank you, Kelly, for allowing us to have some content and something to talk about. But I still think that you were reaching. That's just me personally. Okay. All right. Yes. Thank y'all for letting me know about my sound, how the sound is going. Make sure you guys are engaging with this video. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you can, make sure that you share this with whomever, friends, family members alike. I really appreciate the support. Leslie has the same sentiments as me. Nobody sent for you, Kelly. Hello. What are you doing, sis? Okay. So y'all know I told you I got an outline now, right? So next question. So we talked about, does Kelly have a point bringing up Chris Brown and the whole Rihanna situation? So this is where we gonna talk about Chris Brown and the Rihanna situation. Okay. This is what we're going to talk about now. So my second question for y'all is, are we still mad at Chris Brown for what he did to Rihanna? I want to know. Are we still mad? Are we still mad? My child is sending me messages and I'm hearing the notifications, so I need to turn off my notifications. All right. Are we still mad? I said it earlier and I'm going to say it again. The situation with Rihanna and Chris Brown happened in 2009. I think February 2009, because it was right before the Grammys, I believe, in LA. As we all know, Chris Brown and Rihanna, they got into a little scuffle, a little fight in the car. It has been confirmed. I don't know who hit who first. I don't know if she even hit him, but they were arguing. They got into an argument. Next thing you know, we got pictures of Rihanna's face, and it was not okay. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I have always been, and I still am a Chris Brown fan. And so when the whole situation, and I was a super Rihanna fan, like I love them both equally at the same time when all of this stuff was going down. So when the pictures and everything came out, like it was shocking. It was very, very shocking. Okay, so let me put a pause because so y'all see Celeste. Thank you, Celeste. She's my moderator here, one of my moderators. Celeste said, please like, subscribe, share Terry's channel. And if you would feel so inclined, you can tip me via Cash App. And I got my very first live Cash App from our moderator, Celeste. Thank you. She sent a $20 Cash App. So she is the stream sponsor, okay? She's sponsoring today's stream. So I'll make sure I cook this great meal for you, Celeste. And here it is. The stream sponsor, for those of you who are not familiar how that works on here on YouTube, the stream sponsor is the person who gives the biggest tip via Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, or if I was monetized, Super Chats. But I am not monetized, so this is where we at. But thank you, Celeste. I really appreciate it. So yeah, Chris Brown, Rihanna, they got into their little fight back in 2009. Chris Brown assaulted her. He also pled guilty to that little situation. And I know he had to do community service. There was some issues with him completing his community service. I know that he was on probation till 2015. He got off probation. So he pled guilty. He served his time, however the judge felt it was necessary. And also, he is now currently off of probation. So, technically, he did his due diligence and he served his time. He paid the consequences for his actions. So, are we still upset about it? Are we still mad? Like, are we still we still feel like he should not be someone that should be in the spotlight? How do we feel about that? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Personally, I'll be honest. When the whole Chris Brown and Rihanna assault happened, it was hard. It was really hard. I remember thinking dang, this really is unfortunate. I also remember there being a lot of commentary. I'm grating up some garlic on top of our roasted veggies, and then I'm going to chop up some onions. We're going to season our roasted veggies, and then we're going to put them in the oven. Okay. So I grated up 3 or 4 cloves of garlic. I'm going to also chop up my onion. Switch this around. So Chris Brown, he got off probation. And I remember thinking he got off probation in 2015. But when the incident happened, I remember feeling some type of way about it because I was just like, I love Rihanna. I love Chris Brown. How could he do this to her? Everybody thought they were the cutest couple in the world because they were. And it's just how could he do this? There were reports about potentially reasons why they got into a fight. There was commentary about him and her and the nature of their relationship and how they had a very toxic relationship. People talked about possibly him not being the person who threw the first blow in that car the night of the fight. I don't know. I'm not here to determine the details. If you want to research the situation, feel so inclined to do so. But personally, I don't even think all of that's relevant today. It's not. It's not relevant because the situation between him and Rihanna is not relevant because he did what he was supposed to do. He did. He did. As nasty as that sounds, as dismissive as that sounds, he served his debt to society. Under the law, he has fulfilled his obligations. Let's see. Yeah. A lot of people said that. My eyes watering, y'all. They watering. A lot of people have said that about Chris Brown and Rihanna when they were together, that their relationship was pretty toxic. She would hit him, he would hit her. And I don't want to get too deep into that side of relationships and violence and all that kind of stuff, but I will just say this. For those of you that don't know, I worked in the child welfare system in two states in this country, in Oklahoma and in the state of Arizona. I was a child protective services investigator. During those years working for CPS, of course, I had the privilege of seeing lots of domestic violence situations or reports. I'll say that. I had my fair share of domestic violence reports. It was at one point in Oklahoma, I felt like it was a certain area because they broke Oklahoma City up into four quadrants. There was one specific quadrant that had the most domestic violence situations. And that particular area was like all varying levels of income levels. So not necessarily tied to income, but at that point, it was just that area. But anyway, in my time with the domestic violence situations, there were lots of times where there were women who were seriously in unfortunate situations where they had extreme amounts of abuse going on, so extreme or extreme amount of violence going on in the home, so extreme that we felt it was necessary to remove children from the home. And what I want y'all to understand when it comes to children being removed from their homes, it is not just that particular act of domestic violence, the act of a mother and a father beating on one another or the other person, whatever the situation is. It's not that, it's the effect it has on the child, not just mentally and emotionally, but also physically. Because there are a lot of times where all this fighting and arguing is going on, things flying, kids can get hurt. Okay. And it becomes a very volatile situation. And at that point, the child is in imminent danger, meaning that they need to be saved right now. We don't know if they're going to live or die, okay, for the next day. Yes, I actually seen several of those situations. It's very unfortunate. And it was a point where we had to tell women either you leave him or we take your children away. Whatever y'all got going on, we're not saving the woman, we're saving the children. That was my job. But there were also situations where it wasn't domestic violence, y'all. It was mutual combat. Like, and when I say mutual combat, I'm saying they was fighting each other, like violence amongst each other in the relationship. We can talk about the morals behind people hitting each other, all that kind of stuff, but that ain't what my live about today. My live is about Chris Brown and Rihanna. And I'm just telling y'all to give y'all some, perspective that these are the types of situations that occur in relationships. And so because of that, we have to take that into consideration. Okay. Having knowing that, it's hard for me to sit here and be like, oh, Chris Brown ain't shit, cancel him, all other kind of stuff, because there were lots of rumors around that said him and her used to get busy. Okay. So I'm like, all right, whatever happened between them, it happened between them. It happened. There's nothing I can do about it. It happened in 2009. I'm done with it. I'm not mad at Chris Brown about Rihanna anymore. I don't even think I ever was. I was really more so disappointed. It was just like a friend, a brother, somebody you love doing something ferocious or terrible, and like you still like them, but like you lose respect for them. And that's how I felt about Chris Brown. And I also felt sorry for him because there were lots of reports about his background, his mother experienced DV in the home and him witnessing that. And as somebody who eventually became a CPS worker, like I was just like, dang, like that kind of stuff matters. It matters. And it unfortunately, like those types of cycles, they happen when kids experience those type of issues in the home. All right. So I'm about to season up our veggies to roast them. So here I have some broccoli. We got some onions chopped up, carrots, zucchini. Let's see, red and orange bell peppers. I grated up some garlic, and then I'm about to season this with some. I'm gonna keep it real simple. I'm just swishing it around because I want the garlic to mix in there really good. So I'm going to keep it simple and just use some black pepper, some white or some kosher salt. All right. Kosher salt, black pepper, and a little onion and garlic powder. Then we're going to top this with some olive oil. This is just some kosher salt. This is my favorite salt to use in the kitchen for those of you that are new here. I really do not recommend you using table salt. I highly recommend you using like a kosher salt, pink Himalayan, sea salt, a thicker cut of the salt. So that's some onion powder, a little garlic powder, and we're gonna top with olive oil. Just drizzle about. We don't need a whole bunch. I'm also gonna spray this a little bit with our nonstick cooking spray. I have butter flavor of that. This is optional. You can just use olive oil, or if you do have cooking spray and you don't have olive oil, you can use just the cooking spray. But you do need some type of oil source. My oven has been preheated to 400 degrees. As I told y'all on another live, when you want to roast something, when we were roasting our red peppers, we roasted our red pepper for the red pepper sauce to go over the red snapper. If y'all haven't seen that video, make sure you check it out. But when we were roasting that, I explained that it's key to have high heat when you are roasting things, especially veggies. So at least 400. My oven is actually on the convection setting. So if you have just a regular bake setting, you can actually do up to 450 if you want, but I'm gonna keep it at 400 and just arrange that. If you have, I got a lot of veggies, so it's not a single layer, but it's not piled, stacked. So just try to arrange them evenly on your tray. And then we're gonna put these in the oven and we're gonna roast them for, let's see, about 20 minutes because I don't want them in here too long. All right, let's put the timer on because I'll get to talking and I'll forget. All right, so we got that. All right, let's catch up on some comments here. All right. We have all kinds of entertainers, athletes, and politicians who have had their issues in the past. No one speaks of. Leave Chris Brown alone. Okay, leave Chris Breezy alone. They're really treating Chris Brown like this, but they still love R. Kelly. Huh? I'm gonna tell y'all this. You can judge me if you want. I feel like R. Kelly is way worse than Chris Brown. Kelly is a predator. Okay, Chris Brown is not. Chris Brown has his issues, and we're gonna keep going over that here shortly. But Chris Brown is not a predator. And I think that is something to note. Okay. It's the same with Mike Vick. Now, y'all, I'm an animal person. Okay. I love me a dog. I got a dog here running around somewhere. I love my animals. But them people, they really crucified your boy, Michael Vick. Okay. Hey, you can feel how you feel. You can have your opinions. But this is my thing. At what point do we say, once people serve their time, we done with it? Like, why are we still mad about it? At what point do we say, all right, let's move on? We're not about to keep bringing this up. I was upset when it first happened, but in 2023, I think canceling his MJ tribute was wrong. First of all, MJ stamped a seal of approval was on him. Yes, Michael Jackson loved Chris Brown. He loved Chris Brown and Beyonce. I should note Beyonce because I love her. He loved them both, and I think it was tragic. I'm gonna be dramatic. I think it was tragic that happened. I do. So yes, I just feel in terms of Chris Brown, should we still be mad at him? Y'all, Rihanna don't even act like that situation still is a factor for her. Like she doesn't talk about it. She has moved on. Rihanna, we talked about Rihanna in my last live. She is a billionaire now. She got a man. I don't know if they're engaged or not, but they could be married and we don't even know. She got a man. She got 1.5 babies. She got a great career. She got life. She is killing it, right? Perfect life, basically. She ain't worried about Chris Brown. So why are we? Why are we still bringing that up? Because at the end of the day, bringing up the Chris Brown and Rihanna situation that happened in 2009, that is traumatic for Rihanna. Y'all are constantly bringing up her mess because she was the other person in that car. And you never know what that can do for her. She's trying to move on. She's trying to live her life. She's trying to be the woman that she was destined to be. And y'all want to keep bringing up the fact that that happened. We need to stop because we have to take her mental health and emotional health into consideration. So, all right, y'all. I got to show y'all this, and then we're going to make our teriyaki. This is going to cook real fast. So that's why I'm still talking. Okay. So my third question for y'all is, should we cancel Chris Brown? Should we cancel Chris Brown? Just flat out. Now, I know I asked if we are still mad at him, but I want to know if we should cancel him. So before I get into the commentary on that, I want to go ahead and put up a little fair use copyright disclaimer because guess what? I'm about to show y'all a video that I found to kind of go over Chris Brown and his little situation. Let me pull this up. It should have been pulled up already. So I found a video on E-News. The video is a little old. It's actually from 2009. I don't know if that sound came up yet, but let's see. Let me pull this video up for y'all. What is going on with this website? Okay. All right. While the internet is figuring out what it's doing. So Chris Brown, Rihanna happened in 2009. There were also some more situations that occurred after the Chris Brown situation, and were the Chris Brown and Rihanna situation. Oh, here we go. All right, y'all. Let me play the video for you. It is pretty short. So this little video is going to give you a synopsis of Chris Brown and his little situations he's had over the years. Hold on, let me pause it so I can share it with you guys. All right, let me know in the comments if you can hear the sound, okay?
Legal troubles began with then-girlfriend Rihanna. They were Hollywood's it couple until things turned violent. After pleading guilty to the infamous altercation in 2009, he accepts a plea deal of 180 days community labor and a 1-year anti-domestic violence program. Rihanna, meanwhile, obtains a restraining order against him. He doesn't know it at the time, but this brush with the law is just the beginning of a long list of instances of the singer living up to his bad boy reputation. From 2011 to 2013, the singer accumulates a laundry list of accusations against him: dressing room meltdowns, a bar brawl with Drake, and an altercation with Frank Ocean over a parking spot. And by mid-2013, several allegations turn into legal charges. Brown's probation is revoked in July of 2013 for his involvement in an alleged hit-and-run in Los Angeles. However, the case is eventually dismissed at a hearing the following month. 3 months later, Chris is arrested on a felony assault charge for punching a man in Washington, D.C. The singer voluntarily checks himself into a rehab facility, resulting in his charge being reduced to a misdemeanor. However, he's later kicked out on November 2013 for failing to comply with the rules and regulations of his program. After being kicked out of his second rehabilitation facility and admitting to violating his 2009 probation, Brown is sentenced to 131 days in jail on May 9, 2014. After staying relatively out of trouble since his release from jail and completing his court-mandated community service, Chris is officially let off probation. The following year, after an all-day standoff with police at his home in Tarzana, California, the Grammy winner is arrested on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon. The case is later dropped due to lack of evidence. While it seems that Brown put his troubles behind him, his ex-girlfriend Karuchi Tran obtains a temporary restraining order against him. The order is made permanent in June 2017. For 2 months straight in 2018, Chris's attorney denies several allegations towards him surrounding his behavior with women. One woman files a civil lawsuit against the singer claiming she was sexually assaulted at his home. The other woman is granted a temporary restraining order based on her allegation that Chris is harassing and stalking her. Nearly 10 years after his first encounter with the law, the 29-year-old is detained by Paris police and accused of aggravated rape. The singer doesn't hesitate to clear his name, writing on Instagram, "I want to make it perfectly clear. This is false."
All right. All right, y'all. So, what do we think? I found that video when I was looking up different information about Chris Brown to see like what's been going on with him over the years. And when I found it and watched it, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna show this because this is relevant." Because if we're gonna have the conversation about should we cancel Chris Brown, we got to talk about Chris Brown's history. And the reality of the situation is Chris Brown is not, a Boy Scout. He's not like, he started out as like the boy next door. Look, like he really had a crossover appeal, y'all. Chris Brown was on an amazing trajectory. And then after the Rihanna situation happened, his life just took a huge decline. It went on a huge decline. You saw he had a whole bunch of legal situations that happened, and it's just unfortunate. So, taking all of that into consideration, should we cancel him? Should we cancel him? Has he learned his lesson? Like, is he the type of person that is a predator, so to speak? Is he a habitual abuser? Those are the things we have to consider if we're going to cancel Chris Brown. So now we're going to make our teriyaki sauce. So I told y'all we're making a sugar-free version of teriyaki sauce or teriyaki chicken and a soy-free version. So the first thing that we're going to use for our teriyaki sauce is coconut liquid aminos. This is the soy-free or the soy alternative that we're going to use. I'm sure you all have heard of this before. It is very popular amongst the paleo, keto, all the fad diets. That's when it really became popular for folks to use. So I'm going to start with a half a cup of that. I'm also going to use a fourth of a cup of chicken broth. This is low sodium chicken broth. And I'm using the chicken broth so it can stretch the sauce because I don't want to use so much of this coconut aminos. If you don't care about using soy, you can go ahead and use soy sauce. But I wanted to give the alternative because there are lots of people, including myself, who try to limit the amount of sodium that I'm intaking. All right. So next thing that we are going to use is rice wine vinegar. So traditionally in teriyaki sauce, you would find mirin, which is like a Japanese seasoning, vinegar style seasoning, so to speak. It's sweet, but salty at the same time. It gives the teriyaki that oomph to it. It does have sugar in it, and the macros can be a little funky. So as an alternative, because a lot of people may or may not have issues finding it, mirin is pretty common now. You can find it in the regular grocery store. But as an alternative, we're going to use rice wine vinegar. And one of the reasons why is because, as you can see on the back with the macros, 0 calories, 0 fat, 0 sodium, 0 carbs, zero everything. It's basically a vinegar. So we're going to use that. I am going to use about, let's see, how much did I say? 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. So we all know the teriyaki sauce has some type of sweetness. And in order to make our teriyaki sauce sweet, we're going to use some sugar alternatives. So the first one we're going to use is Swerve. This is a brown sugar alternative that I love to use. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. You can use this in literally how you would use brown sugar. You can use this in replacement. It's a natural all sweetener, so it's not like um, the sweet and low, like all of the ones that everybody used to use back in the day. It doesn't have an aftertaste. I love cooking with it. Anytime I make a sauce that I would use brown sugar, I use Swerve as an alternative. And I also want to note that this is gluten free. It's non-glycemic. It's keto friendly. If you're doing keto, it really does taste like sugar. No GMOs. Like it's a good product. It really is. I will say this: it's also pretty expensive. It's a little pricey, but it's worth it in my opinion. So we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of Swerve. Remember how I said traditionally teriyaki sauce has mirin in it? Instead of mirin, we use the rice wine vinegar. And because we're not using mirin and we lack the sugar in the mirin, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of, I'm sorry, 1 tablespoon of monk fruit, which is my sugar alternative that I like to use. I love using this. I actually use this every morning in my coffee. Let's see. Can you get this from any store or is this? So monk fruit you can get anywhere. Swerve you can get anywhere. I've seen both of these at Walmart, at Target, at Fry's, which is my Kroger, Safeway, Winco. It's literally at every single grocery store. So this is readily available in the baking aisle. You'll find both of these around where the sugar is. It's very easy to find that. Rice wine vinegar, same thing. You should find this on the vinegar aisle. Coconut liquid aminos, you should find this on the Asian aisle by the soy sauce. Okay, so we got our coconut aminos, rice wine vinegar, we got our Swerve, we have our monk fruit. I'm going to grate in a little bit more garlic, just a little bit, just a little clove, a couple cloves maybe, because I mean, you can never have too much garlic. And then I'm also going to put in a little more ginger. Y'all know my ginger was frozen, so it is all soft, but it's still, that's how you can store your ginger. You can store it in the freezer if you buy a big, oh, it don't want to work now. So, ginger, garlic, and then last thing I'm going to add in here is some cornstarch. The cornstarch is going to help thicken it up. This is about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. So I got all of this in here, and now I'm just going to mix it up. If you want to make this in advance, you can do so. I need to get a fork so I can mix up the cornstarch. You can make this teriyaki sauce by, you can actually boil it or bring it to a simmer to make sure to make it in advance and just keep and store it in the refrigerator. But I'm just making it in a bowl, and as we're stir frying our chicken, towards the end, we're going to add the salt. So I just want to make sure that the cornstarch is in there good. And this is our sauce, y'all. I already have my pan preheating, so I'm about to cook our chicken. If you're here joining later, I've already seasoned the chicken up. One thing I've noted it a few times actually, that coconut aminos, it has less sodium than soy sauce. So make sure that you add or you season your chicken with a, that is good. Oh, y'all, I am so excited. Okay. Let's focus on our pot. And we're going to get started cooking. We're going to get started. We're about to cook up our, all right. So, one thing to know, if you are stir frying anything, make sure when you stir fry, you have everything that you need ready, because stir frying is cooking things on very high heat and it goes fast and you don't have time to be reaching for stuff. So as you can see, the way that I made the sauce and the way that I seasoned the chicken, like doing all of that in advance, cutting up everything, if we were adding veggies to it, I would literally prepare everything as I did here. That's literally how the Asians do it, y'all. Because when they start to stir fry, you need everything to be able to maneuver. So you want to make sure you have your pan on high heat. So I've been heating it low, but I'm going to turn it on high heat. While that's heating up, let's get back to the drama. All right. So we were talking about whether if Chris Brown should be canceled. So we talked about the fact that he got all this case stuff, right? He's had this history. He had Rihanna situation. Him and Karrueche, they had their little situation go on. There was one thing to know about the whole Chris Brown and Karrueche. She had a restraining order on him. It was granted in like 2017. Yes, for 5 years. It was a permanent restraining order. She accused him of attempting threatening her, basically threatening her life. She felt unsafe, so she got a restraining order. Also to note, in 2022, there was a woman who filed a restraining order on Chris Brown in Houston to keep him from performing. I think they threw out the restraining order, and he was still able to perform, but she did that. Honestly, I really couldn't find out a lot of details about that situation, but I did wanted to note it because it is out there in the media. So having all this information, knowing that like Chris Brown little situation with Rihanna was not, it was a one-time thing, but like he has had other allegations and things go on in regards to violence against women. So like, is that a reason to say, you know what, we don't need him no more. We need to get rid of him. He's done. We tried to give him some room. We tried to give him some space to grow up, to see if he's changed. He's not going to change. He is not going to change. So I'm spraying this with a little coconut oil, and I'm also going to put in a little bit of olive oil. Y'all can see I got my pan up high because we're about to cook this chicken. This is a little bit more than 2 pounds of chicken. Actually, this is almost 3 pounds of chicken, actually. So I'm just going to spread it out. I got the heat on high. I'm going to let it cook on one side, and then I'll turn it over. Those are our veggies. We're going to take our veggies out. Should we cancel Chris Brown? I'm thinking no, y'all. I mean, we know I'm a little biased. We know that I'm a fan. I've said that. I'm not afraid to admit it. So I don't know. I don't think we should cancel Chris Brown. I think that we should allow him to just live his life. I don't think it's necessary to cancel him. These veggies look great. Let me show y'all. I was going to put them back in, but I don't think so. I think I'm going to keep them like this. Here's our roasted veggies. They look great. I'm going to go ahead and spray these a little bit and cover them with foil, and they're ready. Ooh, look at that pretty brown. So I'm just making sure that we brown the chicken. You can see the thing with cooking at home and trying to stir fry, the heat will never be as high as it would be in like a Asian restaurant kitchen. So you do have to let your meat sit. I know we've all seen those situations, those videos of like the little Asian man cooking with the big wok, and they got fire and they swirling everything around. Okay, that ain't how it happened at home. You just gotta let it sit there. You just gotta let it sit there. Let's see what we got here. Because I know that once a person in the limelight gets in trouble, they can become a target for false allegations. I don't know what he has actually done he actually has done besides Riri. I'm not here for the cancellation. Yeah, that is a thing. That is a thing. It is definitely a thing that we see where famous men or men in general should. Emmett Till wasn't famous. Huh. We see people lie. There have been accounts in history where people make up tales to get folks in trouble, to target people for whatever reason. I'm not saying this is reason valid for him or that he was falsely accused of anything. It is something that should be considered if we're going to have the conversation of cancellation. I just think that's fair, in my opinion. So the last thing I really want to kind of hit, because we've come to the conclusion Chris Brown should not be canceled. I mean, if you don't like Chris Brown, you don't like him. You don't have to support him. You don't have to listen to his music. You can think that Chloe Bailey is crazy for having a collaboration with him. You can have your opinions about him. Does that mean he needs to be canceled? I don't think so. He's paid his debt to society, and like we can argue about what he's done and has he learned his lesson, but in real life, none of that is relevant because he doesn't have any pending cases. We don't have no woman out here actively telling us that he's beating her. And I mean, let's keep it real. We see Krishan and Blueface on the blogs every week, every day. And they actually are extremely toxic and violent. So we're going to have to choose our battle, y'all. We're going to have to pick our battle. And that brings me to my final question. Should cancel culture even be a thing? Like, what's the purpose of canceling people? Number one. Yes, there are people. Ooh, this looks so good. All right. I'm going to switch that over to the side. I got a little more chicken that I'm going to let cook here because I want all my chicken today. I might have some guests later. So we're going to let that cook. I got some water here for my rice noodles. Got my water on for the rice noodles. Rice noodles are extremely, extremely easy to make. All you got to do is just put them in the water for a couple minutes and boom, they're done. Whatever the package says is basically what you should do. What is the opposite of cancel? Approve, permit, keep. I mean, the opposite of cancel. What is it? For real. I'm going to look up on the thesaurus. What's the synonym? I don't think cancel culture should be a thing. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. There are certain things that I've seen people do that I'm like, you know what? That person probably is too much. If I'm gonna be 100% real, I can live another day in my life and not listen to another R. Kelly song and be okay with that. I really can. Do I love R. Kelly's contribution to music? Yes. That R. Kelly is a part of the soundtrack of my childhood. I grew up in the 90s. So, yes, when I hear R. Kelly song come on, I'll be like, oh, and I find myself like, okay. And then I'll be like, dang, he's a pervert. Like, dude was a predator. So, like, people like that, they could fall off the face of the earth and I would be okay. Like, I mean, I would be very indifferent about it. Like, it just wouldn't faze me. It doesn't matter what they're doing because, like, they really aren't offering anything positive to society. Like, I have a thing about people going after children, old people. Like, it's just certain folks I feel like are untouchable. And if you go after this vulnerable group of humans, knowing that they can't really protect themselves, you probably do need to be canceled. Like, you are lead attorney on YouTube. He says some people are just duds. And duds, we can forget about them. There's no rehabilitation. There's nothing we can do to fix them. They just messed up people. And it is what it is. Okay. This chicken is, oh, I never answered my child. She texted me. I never answered her. Sorry. This chicken is still browning. You can see it has some liquid. I'm keeping the heat still on high. If you don't have as much chicken as me, you probably won't take as long to cook your chicken, or you can cook it in batches and then put it back in there for the sauce. But I just want to get my chicken cooked through for the most part. Then we're going to add the sauce and we're going to cover it and let it do its thing. Cancel culture is exhausting. If someone or something doesn't resonate, then avoid it. I mean, like people always say on social media, if you don't like something you see, keep scrolling. And that's really what it is. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, me feeling a way about whoever, whether it's R. Kelly, whether it's Chris Brown, whether it's Weinstein, Harvey Weinstein, all of these people, right? Bill Cosby, whoever, no matter how I feel about them, these people are still human beings and they're still on the face of the earth. So like, I'm gonna be mad. Like, these people should never be brought up. They're significant people in American culture. Their names are gonna be dropped here and there. There's nothing we can do about it. I serve, or I develop my own opinion about them and I move on. I move on. I don't like Arby's. Should it be canceled? How about that? I just don't go to Arby's. I mean, it's true. It's true. You could say this about anything. I feel like people can choose what they ingest. I don't need anyone to decide for me what I ingest. So cancel culture is silly to me. Agreed. Absolutely. So when it comes to cancel culture, like some people would argue that like we need to hold people accountable for their actions. And as much as I am huge on accountability, um, part of my journey as becoming the woman, a grown woman, is recognizing the things I've done in my life that has caused me to be where I am today, the good and bad things. Like, as much as I want to hold on to the good things, I also have to take accountability for the bad things that I've done, the bad choices that I've made, and the sacrifices that I've had to make in my life because of those bad choices, or the hardships I've had in my life because of those bad choices. It's up to me to hold myself accountable. And I mean, those around me, I guess they can hold me accountable, but for how long? Like, what does accountability look like? That's the only thing. Like, I think if someone is willing to acknowledge that they were wrong, they did something wrong, what else do you want them to do? They apologize. They served their debt. Whatever the hell they were supposed to do, they did it. It's over with. What else do you want? Like, I think about in dating, anytime I get upset and I address it, if the man says, okay, I apologize, this is what, moving forward, I'm gonna work on it, this is what I'm gonna do to try to be better, and you take his apology, you say thank you accept it, and you move on. I'm not about to keep on saying the same thing unless the behavior becomes repeated. And then we're gonna have a conversation. But that's a whole different situation. Chris Brown, or all of these people that we're canceling, do we really need to cancel them because we didn't like a mistake that they made? All right. So this is pretty cooked through for the most part. So now I'm going to add in my sauce. We're going to have a lot of sauce. Make sure your heat is on high. Make sure you get all this good stuff, because this is the sugar substitutes and everything. You need all of that out your bowl. And then we're going to let this come up to a boil. Whoo, this is looking amazing. All right. I'm really liking the way this is looking. All right. Once it comes up to a boil and it cooks a little bit, Then we're going to taste to see if we need to add something to it. Y'all know I always tell you, make sure you taste as you go. I'm going to cut up some green onions because we're going to. We really live today, y'all. I'm keeping y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for being here with me on Sunday, spending Sunday afternoon with me. I appreciate it. We're going to be done soon. Our food is almost done. But I really wanted to have a conversation about this today. So, I took my time. I took the time to get a little outline for y'all. I wanted to hit some points. I really wanted to make sure we had a real discussion because I think this is really important for us to talk about. It's not just, the Chris Brown thing. Yes, cute. Like, we like to talk about pop culture and things of that nature. But, like, really, we got to really think, like, a little bit more in depth about what we do in society and how we treat people. And this whole cancel culture thing is like a lot. Like, I hate to sound like this, but I do understand when the older folks be saying like the younger generations are soft. I feel like we're overly sensitive about a lot of stuff. And like Leslie said earlier, y'all, I got green onion. Leslie said it earlier. So Les also said it, but I'm gonna pull up Leslie's comment. She decides what she ingests, right? You decide what you want to look into, what you want to read, what you want to watch. You get to decide your content, right? That is the beauty of living in this era. We have so many options to be entertained. So many different options. Ooh! Yes, baby. All right. This is getting real thick. So to thin it out, we cooking live, baby. We're gonna put a little bit of chicken broth in here. I'll probably adjust when I write out the recipe for my website. I'll adjust how much cornstarch to add. Our sugar is caramelizing, and that is what you see. Woo! Y'all, this smells so good. Let me turn this down. It's saucy. It's super saucy. If you want it thinner, you can add more chicken broth. You can add water just to thin it out. I think I'm going to keep it close to here. I might put a little bit more liquid in there just to make the sauce a little bit thinner. Oh my God. Oh! This sauce is so good. All right, I'm gonna run my hot water. Get that water hot. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna use some of this water for the rice noodles. I'm gonna put just a little bit of water in here. You see, this is a half a cup. I don't want the flavor to diminish, so I don't want to put too much. I just want to thin the sauce out just a little bit. So I'm not trying to dilute it. I'm just thinning the sauce out. I have turned the heat down. Oh, this looks so luscious and velvety, baby. Okay, so I have this on low because this is good. We're just gonna let it sit there on low. If you want, you can cover it, but y'all, that sauce is so bomb. I'm gonna cover it. That sauce is amazing. So I went ahead and cut up some green onions. I'm gonna put that over our food. Let me turn this off. I got my water on for my rice noodles. If you're not familiar with rice noodles, let me show y'all what the rice noodles look like. So we have two different kinds. I have some vermicelli. Let me hide this so y'all can see I've used it. So I have some vermicelli rice noodles. This is for Vietnamese food. I want to say this is from Vietnam, maybe not. But I bought those because I like to use those for my little Vietnamese noodle bowls. And then these are pad thai noodles. So these noodles are kind of flat and thicker, and the rice vermicelli, I'll show y'all, those are really thin. So depending on the type of rice noodles that you have, cook them according to what the package says. This particular package literally just says add the noodles to boiling water for 2 minutes, let it stand there for 2 to 3 minutes, and then you can take them out. So I'm gonna put them in here. I'm gonna get some things to kind of swish it around, and we're just gonna let that sit for about 3 minutes. Alexa, set the timer for 3 minutes. No. Do y'all have any smart devices in your home? Like, am I the only person who uses Homegirl over here, the Echo? Am I the only person? I love it. Some people swear that the FBI watching us. They probably are. I'm sure I say stuff to alert them every other day, especially when I be talking about politics and stuff. Uh-oh. I smelled something that smelled like it was trying to burn. That's why I came over here and checked. Make sure. So one of my favorite YouTubers, Maggie the substitute teacher, she always talks about how her mom has told her, you cook with all your senses. You see it, you smell it, you taste it, you even feel it, you touch it. So if you smell something that smell like it's burning, make sure you check on it, y'all. This is gonna be so good. That sauce is so bomb. I can't wait for y'all to try it. You're not gonna miss the real sugar. This particular sauce, sugar-free, soy-free. So for those of you that are watching your soy consumption, but you want some teriyaki, you can use this. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. I use her a lot. That's the homegirl. I love Maggie. Okay. 3 minutes. I'm going to get our bowl because we're going to start plating soon. As soon as these noodles are done, we're going to plate because our food is just about done, y'all. So let's wrap up our topic for today. So if you're just now joining or if you joined late, you know we talking about Chris Brown today. The whole situation with him and Rihanna has been brought up because of his collaboration with Chloe Bailey. And so we're trying to figure out if we should cancel Chris Brown. The general consensus is that no, we shouldn't cancel Chris Brown. But we also know, or we've also been talking about, if we should cancel people in general. And I think that we've come to the conclusion that cancel culture is kind of silly. In the end of the day, it's not really up to us to, hold people accountable forever. Like, I feel like this. If someone has acknowledged that they're wrong, this water will not shut up. Okay, sorry, y'all. If someone has acknowledged that they're wrong, that they've done wrong, they made a mistake, if there's any legal ramifications to the law or to the mistakes that they've made, that they have upheld those, they have, satisfied their legal obligations, all of that. They apologize if there were any victims, whatever. They've done it. Now what? You know what's now what? We move the hell on. We leave them alone. We don't keep worrying about, Alexa, stop. Okay. That was the alarm. Our rice noodles are ready. They're almost ready. Woo! All right. So yeah, y'all. Cancel culture is a little dumb. People have paid their debt to society. They've done what they're supposed to do. I feel like if they done did all that, leave them alone. How else are we going to expect people to grow, evolve, change, learn from their mistakes if we don't give them an opportunity to learn from their mistakes? If we're constantly throwing that in their face, we're never going to be able to allow them to grow as a person. And at the end of the day, Chris Brown is a black man in America, and I want to see him change and grow. Now, if he decides to go out here and do something stupid, that's on him. But at the end of the day, as long as he's doing what he's supposed to do, then I'm gonna have his back. Aw. Hi, it's Avery, Anna, and Noah. It's my daughter, y'all. Her and her friends are watching me on. Hey, Avery. Hey, Anna. And hey, Noah. Thanks for joining. We're making teriyaki chicken. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get our noodles off the stove. Our noodles are done. We're going to plate, y'all. I'm so excited. Okay, let's get some tongs, and we're going to plate. We're going to start with the noodles, because that's going to be like our little, ooh, look at this. So I'm using rice noodles because I like noodles, first of all. And rice noodles, I tend to digest them better than, let's say, like regular noodles, regular wheat noodles. So I'm putting in the rice noodles first. Along with our teriyaki chicken, we have some roasted veggies. So I'm going to go ahead and add our roasted veggies to our bowl. They look so good, y'all. I'm going to show y'all in just a second. This bowl is lit. All right. So here we are. So here we are with our veggies and our noodles. Give me just a minute. We're going to put our teriyaki chicken in here. And then y'all already know what's next. No other food looks good. Avery and Anna, y'all already know what's next. Here, let me bring this over here. I'll plate this. I've been tasting the sauce, so I know that it doesn't need anything. Doesn't need any additional salt. Doesn't need any additional sweetener. It is perfect. It really is perfect. The only thing that I did change up is add in some additional liquid so that our sauce can thin. So I will say this, probably a little less cornstarch, but hey, we good. More like a tablespoon, but I just wanted to make sure we had enough. Y'all see there? A little green onion on top. Okay. So here we are. Soy-free, sugar-free teriyaki chicken with roasted veggies and some rice noodles. Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all know once we have plated, it's time to take pictures, and then we are going to taste. All right, let me get my mess out the way. All right. I am very excited about this, y'all, because I tasted the sauce. Like I said, I've been tasting it. You know, I'm trying to get my little setup. All right. Okay. Ooh! Yes. All right. So first, let's get a picture. Let's get a picture. We're going to get a picture because y'all already know how I feel. If it's not on the gram, it did not happen. Okay. It did not happen. So we're going to take a few pics. Oops. Okay. There's one. Let's take another. Oh my God, this looks amazing. This is really coming out good. These pictures, I'm gonna get a video. Yes. Oh, look at that luscious sauce. All right, let's save that. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. I'm gonna eat. I will taste this for you all. Let you know if it gets my stamp of approval, if I did myself good today. All right. So, soy-free, sugar-free teriyaki chicken. I'm going to start with the chicken. Let me get a little nice chicken and some noodles. If you want, I will say this about rice noodles because they can be kind of long. That's what I need a knife for. You can go ahead and cut your rice noodles. So, this is our soy-free, sugar-free teriyaki chicken. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Y'all, oh my God. The ginger. The ginger is the first thing that I swear I taste. I love ginger. The roasted veggies are really good. Super simple. Salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. I got some onions and garlic in there too. We got broccoli, zucchini, red and orange bell peppers, carrots, onion. Ciao. This is another winner. Definitely want to try it. Of course, it will be on my website, www.mysexyisstrong.com. That is where you can find most of my recipes that I'll be posting more and more on the website. I took a little break from posting. I think what I'm going to do, the popular recipes will go on first. The ones I see that people are really loving and requesting more, those will go on first until I can get to a good cadence with these recipes. But y'all, this is so delicious. I really hope that you try it. Let me get another taste. Avery, Anna, and Noah. I'll let y'all have a little bit too. If y'all want to come over, come have some. All right, y'all. Let's finish out these comments. Let's wrap this up. Yummy in my tummy. Yes. With the 8 on the gram, it didn't happen. I know that's right. I'm hot. I'm sweating, y'all. It's hot in here. This oven is on. So yeah. Thank y'all for coming. I hope y'all enjoy our conversation. We talked about Chris Brown. We talked about cancel culture. Really kind of dove a little deep today. Talked a little bit longer than we normally do, but we had a good conversation. I'm so thankful that y'all spent y'all Sundays afternoon with me. Thank you so much for all of your support. Shout out to my stream sponsor, Celeste, for the $20 donation on Cash App. I really, really appreciate that. She says, thank you for showing us that healthy food does not have to be bland. It don't have to be bland and it don't have to be boring. That is something that I'm huge on. Y'all, look, for those of you who don't know, I once was 321 pounds. I have lost weight, gained over half back, lost it again. I gained a little bit back, but we ain't talking about that. That was for bulking purposes. However, one thing that remained constant with all of my little weight loss journeys is the more the food, the better the food tasted, the more likely I was to continue with the diet or with the nutrition aspect of it. And as we know, when it comes to weight loss, you gotta eat, okay? You gotta eat right. You gotta eat for your goals, whether that's losing weight, gaining muscle, losing body fat, body restrict, whatever. You gotta eat for it. And I want people to recognize that, like, There's no food hierarchy. There's no bad food, good foods. There are foods that are going to be more conducive for your goals. There are going to be foods that are going to be easier for your digestive system. But food is food. You can get nutrients for almost any food. My take on it is using the best ingredients possible, whole foods. That's why you see me use a lot of fresh ingredients or frozen. I don't like a lot of processed foods because that is where all the problems start. So, yes, my goal on here is to make sure y'all know that healthy food does not have to be bland or boring. And while we're learning that healthy food does not have to be bland or boring, we're going to talk about the tea that's going on in pop culture because we like to have good girlfriend talk and guy friend talk too. Again, thank y'all so much for joining me today. I had a great time as always. Be sure to engage with the content. Like this video on Facebook and YouTube. If you're not already, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. That helps me grow and helps me, get bigger. And also, it's gonna help me get monetized. So, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with everyone. And yeah, I really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all all for the support. I will see y'all back here on Wednesday. Wednesday is Avery's birthday. So I'm going to cook up something special for her. It's going to be whatever it is that she wants to eat for her birthday. I'm going to cook it for her, whether it's healthy or not. It don't matter. We're going to have whatever Avery wants. So y'all see me back here on Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. See y'all. Appreciate you.